Hey, Shannon, this got dicier faster than a lot thought. How do you think this is going to play out?
Oh, they're going to suspend him. Skip, Drew Rosenhaus, he doesn't get paid if AB doesn't get paid. He wants his 3% on that $30 million. So let's just go ahead and clear this up, and rightfully so. He's AB representative. He's supposed to work it.
By the way, for Drew, this is a full-time job.
Absolutely. Skip, there's no two sides to this story. Antonio Brown has acted like a fool, a clown, since he arrived in Oakland. How's there two sides? You don't show up to practice. You don't go to walkthrough. In the CBA in 2011, you got the document and the outline if you're going to find a player. Because if I find you, Skip, and I don't give the reason in black and white, well, I didn't do that. Now we got to, well, he said, she said, and now we go. No, I got it. On this date, you didn't show up to practice. On this date, you didn't do walkthroughs. What other side is there? I told everybody, Skip, when it was very unpopular, I say cut bait with him. Steelers waited 2 years too long.
You're going back to 2016.
Yeah, the Steelers waited a couple of years too long.
You're talking about after Facebook Live from the playoff locker room in Kansas City.
That was it for me because I know it wasn't going to get any better after that.
No.
Skip, the Raiders are going to suspend him. They suspend him, they're going to void that $30 million. He just cost himself $30 million by acting like a jackass. $30 million. Now, for me, Skip, if I'm the Raiders, I don't care if he goes to New England. I don't care if he goes to Tampa.
So you're saying suspend him and cut him, right?
See, Mike Mayock has a great, he knows what's going on. John Gruden says, I hope it all works out. Because John Gruden is in the business of winning games. He understands that AB can help him win the game. But in the process, if you're going to make a deal with the devil, I don't know if I'm willing to make that deal, Skip. How does it get any better? You suspend him. None of his money is guaranteed because the thing that he wanted, Skip, was guaranteed. Remember, he did that IG Live? If your team got guaranteed money, tell them to call me. I'm not playing anymore with no non-guaranteed money.
That's true.
That's what he's saying. You suspend him. Now, that contract becomes void, and it's not guaranteed because AB is a vested player. If he's on the opening day roster, that game one, that money guaranteed. You can cut him if you want to, but he's going to get all his money. You suspend him. Now, because the CBA says you can do that, and they put all those clauses in there. Because they knew, Skip. They knew it was just a matter of time. They give it to you, we give it right back. Does he understand? Because this is what owners do, Skip. They don't look at a Tom Brady that does everything right. They don't look at a J.J. Watt. They don't look at the guys that do everything right. They'll take one guy, an isolated incident like AB, and says, this is why we don't give y'all guaranteed contracts.
That is true.
They're just looking for a reason, Skip, and he gives them a reason why they shouldn't give guaranteed contract. This is embarrassing. This is totally, Skip, I said, there's no way they're making it 3 years on this contract, because really it's a 3-year deal, but in actuality it's only 2 years. It was a 2-year deal for $30 million. I said, there's no way, given who he is, that they're making it 2 years, Skip. There was no way. But Skip, even I'm shocked and baffled that it's ended like that. It's gotten to this point so quickly.
You should be a little shocked and baffled because yesterday I tried to hold your feet to the fire and you said, well, I'll give it a year and a half.
I give it a year and a half. Kip, I thought they could at least make it through this year, and then, he'd get upset.
I got it.
But you said a year.
No, I said 5 games because then they have their bye week, and I thought it would just explode, detonate in the bye week, especially if they go 0-5 to start. And again, Denver is still now they're really favored to win at Oakland in Game 1 on Sunday. So I certainly wasn't shocked by the news of yesterday right after our show ended. And I said the day that he signed there, I just said this will not last because I told you, I've been around John Gruden a lot. I covered his previous team in Oakland for a year, and this is exactly the kind of player he does not want to coach. This is the same situation, the Keyshawn situation in Tampa, where he just sent him home. So he desperately needs Antonio, but he does not want to coach this Antonio. So here's the shocker of shocks to me that I read from Mike Florio, that this is the technicality, that the $1 million he was going to get as an upfront signing bonus was tied to 2 $500,000 workout bonuses for 2019, this year, and next year, 2020. He failed to qualify for the first one. So the 500, which is half the signing bonus, all you had to do is show up for 85% of the off-season work. And I'm pretty sure show up means just come through the door, right?
Skip, all you
just
do,
show.
basically 4 days a week. You come Monday through Thursday.
You could go sit on a weight machine. You could just sit in the chair and just watch everybody else lift, and you'd qualify, I think. So he left $500,000 on the table because he's just too cool for school, man. I'm above that.
Even I would have showed up. They tried to get me to come to all-season work conditions.
Yeah, but if they said you got $5,000,
I'd have been there.
I would think.
But I wasn't showing up for 25 grand because that's what they offered me, G. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do that.
So here's the takeaway point. They have paid Antonio Brown zero. So he signed $30 million for 3 years, whatever it is. Is that what it is? 30 for 3. But he's gotten zero.
Right.
So they could cut bait right now at no charge, no cost, no salary cap hit, no, we got to pay you in perpetuity after they are scot-free here if they want to be. So now we're back to John Gruden. The only mixed emotions I heard expressed yesterday came from the head coach.
Yes.
And why is that? Because as we saw in Hard Knocks, he loves he's legendary, Antonio is, for his practice energy, right? When he decides to show up for practice and when he's healthy enough, when he doesn't have frostbitten feet and he can practice, well, then he practices hard because he loves it. He shows out in practice. So Gruden's point is, remember what he yelled in the middle of Hard Knocks? 84 is going to lead this league in energy. Well, that's what he loves. That's what he gravitates to. And so he's expressing the mixed emotions about, he says, I think Antonio is a great receiver, and deep down, I think he's a really good guy. Yeah, you've been around him. He has a good side to him. He also has a side that has gone completely over the edge into I am the world. I'm bigger and better than the Raiders.
He came on the show. You remember we was in Houston, and he came on the show.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl. He very soft-spoken, Jim. You know, he left. I said, Skip, that dude full of it.
Okay.
You can't fool me. Skip.
I've been around him several times. He's got a huge smile, great charisma when he wants to turn on.
Very soft-spoken. Soft boy. Skip on IG Live. This is what he said. Just know my actions will speak louder than my words. Okay, his actions in Pittsburgh? Skip, the reason why, and I tell people this all the time, I can sign 1,000 autographs. It's the one autograph that I don't sign that I'm a jerk. Skip, this is the first time that he's been held accountable for his actions, and this is how he responds. Because Pittsburgh let it skate. You think this is the first time that he missed a walkthrough? You think this is the first time that he's missed a practice? Because his talent was production and tolerance. 6 straight 100-catch seasons will allow you to get away with a lot, Skip. But even that was a bridge too far, the way he behaved the last year in Pittsburgh.
So reportedly, the soft-spoken Antonio Brown yesterday screamed at Mike Mayock at practice after he had posted, obviously the day before, the confidential letter about fines that Mayock had sent him that was not for social media purposes, right?
Yes.
And you can bet that Gruden and Mayock were furious over that to the point they got in some kind of a shouting match, Mayock and Antonio at practice. Then he picks up a nearby football and punts it and says, "Find me for that." Then he was also reportedly barking at one of the strength and conditioning coaches. He was just going out of control. And then here's the bottom line to this. He goes home and he unfollows his quarterback that he was supposed to be new best friends with, right? Derek Carr. Why do you think he did that? This is my hunch on this. I believe Derek Carr, when that incident erupted on the practice field, I think he intervened on behalf of Mike Mayock and told Antonio, you're out of line. I just think as a team leader, I think he said, you're out of line. And that burned that bridge. So he goes home and unfollows him. And it's like a silly little thing, but it's significant.
But see, this is with social media. See, that's what people, when you have a relationship, Skip, and it's public, and you break up, what you do? You unfollow each other.
You do.
Because remember, he showed up at the doorstep at his house. I've been in his house. Ben Roethlisberger never had me over to his house. So now they all love. That's his new boo thing. Now the boo thing side with the other guy. I'm gonna unfollow you. Man, dude, you a grown man with kids, and you gonna unfollow.
And then David Carr, who happens to be the brother of Derek Carr, said that the Oakland leader, the Raiders leaders, all went to Gruden after practice and said, we're with you on whatever you need to do here, meaning if you want to cut bait, we are behind you cutting bait. So I think that would indicate to me that the team is turning on Antonio. Is that fair to guess?
Yes.
Right?
Skip, it started when Juju, I mean, he's been this, but what pushed AB to this point where we are now, Skip, his teammates voted Juju team MVP.
Significant. Yep.
It was reported that AB went to practice, and when they threw him a ball, he would swat them down.
Okay.
They said, well, you know what? Go home.